Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. In a series of recent interviews I did, looking at schoolboy footballers from Western Jamaica who I consider to be the best in their playing positions since the mid-80s to now, I have gotten some very interesting feedbacks, some from persons who totally disagreed with my selections, as well as from persons who reminded me of some of the players who might have escaped my memory. For those persons who might have missed my selections, I am going to repeat them. My choice as a top goalkeeper is former Rossies and Jamaica custodian Aaron Wildboy Lawrence. My top defender is Mark Agla Wilson, another Rossies standout player who also went on to represent Jamaica. In the midfield, my selection is Cornwall College's Milton Banny Griffiths, who also became a standout player for Jamaica, and my top forward is Brian Ramba Brown, another Rossies player who went on to represent Jamaica with a fair degree of success. To close off the series, I've decided to select an all daCosta team from Western Jamaica to cover the period under discussion, so as not to irritate the fans of some of the outstanding footballers of the 1970s. I want to make it clear that I will be looking at players after the era of the likes of Stets Noel Sweetie Smith, Cornwall College's Brian Bly Anderson, and Rossies' Horace Danny Boy Samuels, who were all exceptional players who sadly I did not get a chance to see much of. For my Best of the West team, which comprised players who played between the mid-1980s and now, I will have them play in a 4-3-3 formation. In the goalkeeping position, I would select Aaron Wildboy Lawrence, who I have previously stated would be my outstanding goalkeeper for that period. While it is true that Lawrence had exceptionally gifted defenders playing before him, he had a safe pair of hands and was a leader of the defensive unit, constantly barking out instructions to the defenders to ensure that they stayed on their toes. I would select the Cornwall College duo of Warren Barrett, who was the lead goalkeeper when Jamaica qualified for the 1998 World Cup in France, and Donovan Ricketts, who was a part of the team that went to France as the substitute goalkeepers to Lawrence, who was also a part of that Jamaica team that contested the 1998 World Cup. In the defensive unit, I would have Rossies' Mark Agla Wilson, who was renowned as a robust, no-nonsense defender, who was feared by most of the forwards who came up against him, playing on the right side. I would have Rossies' Leroy Foster and William Knibbs' Gerald Hero Scott playing in the middle of the defense. While Foster was a sure-footed defender who read the game well, Scott was quite solid in defending but also very good in overlapping. I would have the tenacious Stephen Shorty Malcolm, another of the outstanding crop of players produced by Rossies, playing on the left side of the defense, as he was a no-nonsense warrior. Substitute defenders would be the likes of Garnet Codfish Denton of William Knibb, Omroy Wilson of Cornwall College, and Linton Kong Stewart and Anthony the Terminator Dennis from Rossies. My trio in midfield would be the silky smooth Milton Banny Griffiths, who was a master dribbler and prolific goal scorer for Cornwall College, playing on the left side. In the middle would be Rossies' Donald Jemmy Hewitt, the man with the deft touches and the accurate passes, while Herbert Morrison's Hector Wright, the master of the 30-yard passes and the deadly free kicks, would marshal the left side. On the bench waiting to go on as substitutes would be the likes of Ricardo Morris of St. James High School, Chiwale De Silva of William Knibb High School, Edward Chinny Campbell of Rossies, Peter Lee Vassell of Cornwall College, Garth Flower Peterkin of Herbert Morrison, and Philip Wong of Rossies. The three players who I would have on the front line would be the diminutive Dane Richards of Cornwall College, who is known to embarrass defenders with his speed and pretty much score goals at will. Coming in from the left side, occupying the centre forward position would be none other than Rossi's Brian Rambo Brown, ultimate marksman who is good with both feet as well as his head. I would have Cornwall College's Jordan Fletcher, a master dribbler and a man who kicks powerfully with both feet as well, on the left side. Seated on the bench and ready to explode would be the likes of Rossi's Capel Donaldson, Herbert Morrison's Marquino Gillins and David Dixon, and brothers Daniel Ricketts of Cornwall College and Devon Ricketts of Herbert Morrison. Based on the success they have enjoyed over the years in their coaching capacities, I would select Steve Butner of Cornwall College, Dr. Dean Weatherly of Cornwall College, Maurice Whiteley of Herbert Morrison, and Emerson Diggy Henry of Rossi's as the 4 coaches. I believe I can say without any fear of contradiction that these 4 are among the soundest tacticians we have seen in Western Jamaica's football. While you might not agree with my selections, at least I believe we can agree at one thing, and that is these players gave us many unforgettable memories. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.